Now Forces Sport, and first ice hockey, and the Inter and Tri-Services Championships have been staged in one of Britain's top venues, the Ice Sheffield. With more than 200 competitors involved, it's been one of the biggest events in the short history of the sport in the services. And for the organisers, the RAF, it's also proved very successful.
It's the third year the Sheffield Ice Arena's hosted the top service players, and with 5 RAF teams, 4 from the Army and 1 from the Royal Navy, the Inter-Services tournament for teams at unit and command level was going to be extremely close. Running in the evening, the tri-service matches, the first game between the tournament hosts, the RAF, and the Navy, last season's champions. The tournament represents a huge surge in interest in the sport among the forces.
Ourselves, we've come a long way. Eastern Crusade, we were in the plate final, which is the lower teams, and we've managed to get the cup this year, so might be a few upsets there. But I think the RAF teams as a whole have come a long way, so there's mostly RAF teams in this, and I think we're promoting ice hockey quite well.
The Navy raced into a 4-1 lead against the RAF in the opening period, but the RAF clawed their way back into the match to level it at 5-all going into the final period. The inter-services matches were played on a group basis, with the 2 top sides in each group going into the semi-finals, the other teams heading into the plate competition. The Remy led the way in Group A, with the Army All-Stars topping Group B, but the RAF Jets, made up of players from the Scottish bases Lossiemouth and Kinloss, were hopeful of getting into the final.
Oh, it's massive, definitely massive. We get a lot of beginners, 3 years ago, who are now, obviously some of them are even playing in the RAF games tonight. It just shows you in 3 years how they've progressed, certainly. But over the service has been going about 8 years in the RAF now. The Lossy Jets were the first one, and we're now in his 8th year with them and doing quite well, competing with the Army.
In the end, the Navy Destroyers took the cup, beating the Jets 2-1. The plate went to the Blue Wings, who saw off the Army Air Corps. The Tri-Service champions were the RAF. After coming from behind, they went on to beat the Navy 8-6 in a thriller, and beat the Army side by the same score in the second Tri-Service game.
On to boxing, and the climax of the female ABA Championships took place over the weekend. Forces athletes came away from the finals with a clutch of medals, including gold for Navy Lieutenant Lucy O'Connor. She won the 57kg featherweight contest by beating Hayley Webb from the Metropolitan Police. And to cap an excellent weekend in Manchester, the medal haul also included 2 silver and 2 bronzes. Finally, Navy sailing star Penny Clark and her Great Britain teammate Saskia Clark failed in their attempt to record a podium finish in the latest leg of the Sailing World Cup in Holland. Racing in the 470 class, the pair could only finish 9th overall. And we'll have more sport for you on Wednesday. Richard.